Shalom everybody, Nick Vanderlaan here. Today is the 19th day of the 6th month on Elohim's Zedekite Priest Qumran Enoch solar calendar. It's September 6th, 2018. This message is being broadcasted from Jerusalem. This video is going to be on the two witnesses update. Okay, the two olive trees and the bowl of oil from Zechariah 4. Also the two she-bears, Elisha and the 42 mocking youth from 2 Kings chapter 2, and the timing of the rapture, question mark, that goes along with the two witnesses. We'll take a look at a possibility there, and also the timing of the two witnesses as a precursor to nuclear war. So this video is a continuation and update of the following video series I've done: Elijah and the two witnesses identified, the two witnesses confirmed, Daniel and John, and then a call to build the temple. I strongly suggest that you watch the two witnesses confirmed video right here if you haven't seen it, and then if you need to go back further you can watch this, but this is kind of now almost outdated. In this video, the two witnesses confirmed, Daniel and John, I received a comment from Sharon O. She referred to Numbers chapter 11. Basically, it was confirmation of what I was saying about loved and beloved. Because in this video, one of the similarities John the Revelator and Daniel the prophet have in common, well, John's a prophet as well, is that they were both beloved. And so what Sharon O shared with me was that in Numbers 11, it refers to two witnesses that were testifying to the camp after the 70 elders finished witnessing. And these two witnesses were named Eldad, as God has loved, and Medad, loved. And she thought that was very interesting. So I have Numbers chapter 11 right here. So I've also said that another type or example is Zerubbabel and Joshua, when they were recalled to build the temple. Okay, and we'll get to them in Zechariah chapter 4 coming right up. But you can go ahead and read Numbers 11 for yourself about what happened with Eldad and Medad, and Joshua and Moses, along with the 70 elders. And this is a study for everyone out there that's following along with the work that I've been doing, and you guys have all been contributing to. I don't think you understand how much your comments in the comment section edify, sharpen iron, and everything else. So this is going to be an artist's interpretation of Zechariah chapter 4. We have two olive trees, and we have two branches that are fruitful, and coming out of those two branches is oil. And the oil goes into a bowl, and the bowl feeds has 7 pipes that goes into the lampstand, which has the 7 lamps. The 7 lampstands, well, we know that there's the 7 spirits of Elohim, and that's the spirit of, you can read about those in Isaiah chapter 11. It's the spirit of Yahweh, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, and the spirit of knowledge and fear. Okay, you can read about that in Isaiah chapter 11, verse 2. But also we know that the 7 lamps, also, could these represent the 7 churches? Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there, you know. I'm not, as I said many times, I think things are going to happen a lot differently than we have trained ourselves to believe as far as how things are going to unfold. And yes, everybody has bits and different puzzles to the pieces, but I don't think that there's going to be one person that is going to have 100% correct understanding of all of the events that are going to happen in the future regarding this time period. I think a lot of things are going to unfold a lot differently than what we believe, and we should never be so dogmatic about it. These are the 7 spirits right here, and could represent the 7 churches also, because the oil is flowing into them. So here's Zechariah chapter 4. This is what was written about what we just saw in that artist's rendition. And the angel talked with me, came again, and walked with me, as a man is walketh out of his sleep, and said unto me, What seest thou? And I said, I've looked, and behold, a candlestick of all gold, with a bowl on top of it, and has 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps which are upon the top thereof. and the 2 olive trees by it, one on the right side of the bowl and one on the left side thereof. So I answered, and I spake to the angel that talked with me, saying, What are these, my master? Then the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, Knowest not thou what these be? And I said, No, my master. And then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of Yahweh unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, saith Yahweh of hosts. Who art thou, O great mountain, before Zerubbabel, that thou shalt become a plain? And he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shoutings, crying, Grace, grace unto it. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house, and his hands shall also finish it. And thou shalt know that Yahweh of hosts has sent me unto you. For who hath despised the day of small things? For they shall rejoice, and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel with those 7. They are the eyes of Yahweh, which run to and fro throughout the whole earth. Then I answered, and I said unto him, What are these 2 olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick and upon the left side thereof? And I answered again, and I said unto him, What be these 2 olive branches, which through the 2 golden pipes empty out the golden oil of themselves? And he answered and said unto me, Knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my master. Then he said, These are the 2 anointed ones that standeth by the master of the whole earth. Notice that he didn't ask about the bowl, but he did ask that was going into the lampstand. But like I said, when I saw this, I believe I mentioned this in my previous video, when I saw this, there's only one lampstand with a bowl. There's a bowl. But there's 2 olive trees and branches. And it reminded me of the story of Elisha and the 2 she-bears and the 42 youths, which represents the 42 months. Okay, I mentioned that in my previous video. You can go back and take a look at that. But that's what I understand that to be. And again, in that previous video, I talked about it. The 2 anointed ones are better translated as the 2 sons of fresh oil. And one of the feasts of Yahweh that was recorded on the temple scroll in Qumran, where the righteous Zechariah priest headquarters were and all the writings were left, was the festival of new oil, which actually happens to be on the same day as the Jewish Hillel lunar calendar Yom Teruah, and which is what they call Rosh Hashanah. Erroneously, it's a 1-week festival. You can take a look at it and how it unfolds on my biblical anniversary spreadsheet. But I wanted to bring your guys' attention to that, and I've done some new formatting to the biblical anniversary spreadsheet, made it a little bit more readable for you guys. But again, I believe that Elijah, remember, he received the double portion spirit of Elijah. So I believe that either a contemporary now or Elijah is actually going to come back along with the two witnesses. Okay, and Elijah, or this Elijah type, is that received the double portion spirit, is going to have a different ministry than the 2 witnesses, and it's nothing's really recorded about this other than the fact that we know that Elijah is going to return before the great and dreadful day of Yahweh. And so I don't believe these 2 witnesses are Elijah, but maybe they are. One's Elijah and one represents Moses. People have talked about that too, but it's definitely, I believe, going to be John, and we're going to talk about that coming up. And I believe it's going to be Daniel, and you can look at my other video regarding that. So the golden lampstand, as we know, it's a candlestick of all gold, bowl on top of it, has 7 lamps thereof, and the pipes of the 7 lamps, which are upon the top thereof, the 2 olive trees by it, one on the right side of the bowl and one on the left side thereof. So here you have it right here. Here's the trees, here is the branches, okay, and the branches have pipes that feed into the bowl, which feed into the lampstand. So the 2 olive trees, what be these 2 olive trees upon the right side, upon the left? We talked about that. And again, these are the 2 anointed ones right here. And I told you, I believe it to be, the scriptures prove it to be Daniel and John. There's, I believe, enough information in there to prove out John for sure. And I strongly believe Daniel as well. You can watch my other video. And again, remember about the types there. And again, I think it was, what was it? Eldad and Medad. God has loved and loved. Be loved. So, This is going to go back, touch a little bit on John, but this is about the timing of the resurrection rapture linked to the two witnesses. John chapter 21, verses 20-23. This is the last part of the last chapter of John, of the book of John, chapter 21. Yeshua had resurrected. He'd already appeared to them one time the day after he resurrected on the first day of the week. Okay, he appeared to them. He resurrected, I believe, on the Sabbath, and then he appeared to them on the first day of the week. Matthew 28 people who want to contest that, read. It was still the Sabbath. And then also he appeared to them to Thomas with the disciples on first fruits. And I'm going to be making a video about that because first fruits is the following week. And then he appeared to them a third time at the Sea of Galilee. They were fishing. They got the 153 fish. And then they came on shore. And then there was a fire going and it had trimmed bread. Just the same meal that Yeshua shared in the same region when he fed the 5,000. And I don't know if he fed, or the 3,000. I know one of those two were up there, if not both of them were up there in that region. So what happened is Yeshua, he told Peter what type of death Peter would die. And now we pick up in the text. Then Peter turned about, seeing the disciple who Yeshua loved, John, who is John, following, and which also leaned on Yeshua's breast at supper and said, Master, which is he that betrayeth thee? So this is John. And Peter, seeing him, saith unto Yeshua, Master, what shall this man do? And Yeshua saith unto him, If I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me. Then went this saying among the brethren that disciple should not die. Now here's John. He's going to clarify it because this is him writing. Yet Yeshua said not unto him, he shall not die, but what if I will, this is Yeshua talking, that he, John, tarry till I come? What is that to thee? So that's the question. And so it was reiterated, guys, here, till I come, till I come. Okay, that this disciple should not die, should not die. Well, when is Yeshua going to come? Okay, because right after this, Yeshua ascended. Okay, the next time we see about Yeshua was in Acts, and he ascended from here in the Mount of Olives. So my question to you, my question for everybody, but I believe that this is what the Ruach is showing me, and it might make sense to you guys out there, but I theorize here. Does till I come show that upon Yeshua's arrival at the resurrection, will that be the timing until John will be tarrying? Okay, so he will be tarrying until Yeshua comes. So again, I've theorized that John's body, along with Daniel's, is in some sort of supernatural hibernation here on earth, while their souls have been caught up during that time standing in front of Yeshua, waiting for his final ministry to start. So, upon Yeshua coming and the resurrection happening, they're going to awake. They have yet to die, but have they gone into some sort of supernatural hibernation? And their spirits are going to return, or their souls are going to return to them and start their ministry. That's a theory that I have that I want to throw out to you, brothers and sisters. For all you mockers and scoffers, I know you're going to try to have a field day with this. Good luck trying, because these are theories, okay? This isn't 100%, but this is how I understand it. But, okay, so what I also want to bring to you guys is in Revelation chapter 10, this is talking about John, okay? So for all you people saying John's not one, it's Moses and it's the church and somebody else, let's read the last two verses of Revelation chapter 10. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up. This is John speaking. He's the author of Revelation. And it was in my mouth, sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. Then he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings. Now John was on the island of Patmos. And this is where he received his revelation. And he must prophesy again, and there's no record of him doing these things. Okay? When he's prophesying again, what's interesting is this is the last verse. When he's told that thou must prophesy again before many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings, right as I was preparing this video, the Ruach just showed me the next chapter is chapter 11, and chapter 11 is all about the two witnesses. And immediately in chapter 11, it's picked up that John must measure the temple. Okay? So, look, Ezekiel was told to measure the temple, just like John was told to measure a temple. And also note that I just read a little bit, John was told to eat a scroll. His was a little scroll. And Ezekiel was told to eat a scroll. And the Ruach, like I shared with you in my last video, about 1.5 months ago, the Ruach showed to me that the scroll that Ezekiel ate, he said it was called the Book of Woes. And the Book of Woes is the book of Isaiah. And all my brothers and sisters out there, get familiar with the book of Isaiah and all those, because this is what he ate. Now, in the book of Isaiah, I mean, I think Ezekiel was told to eat a great scroll. John's called to eat a little book or little scroll. If anybody out there is familiar with the Aramaic, please look up this for me and leave a comment here. I'll try to pin the comment. Please let me know what the Aramaic word is for a little book from Revelation chapter 10, verse 10. Thank you. The great scroll, and he was called to eat a little one. But what's interesting, again, is that as soon as he ate it, his belly was bitter. And I just talked about Zechariah chapter 4, about we see the two witnesses. And what's in the next chapter of Zechariah chapter 4? Zechariah chapter 5. And the sad news, okay, is after Zechariah 4, the next chapter, after we read about the sons of fresh oil, that's the last verse, in Zechariah chapter 5, it's talking about the nuclear war and the wicked fire offering. I'm going to be making another video about the timing of Damascus destruction and the Psalms 83 war, Ezekiel 38 and 39. Also now, Isaiah 28. Okay, the rulers of Jerusalem, there's going to be a flood. Okay, it's going to be a flood of people. And right now, I haven't been able to get it out. I'll expand upon it later. But what I want to share with you with the Ruach, how I kind of understand things, or theorizing, game planning, what do you want to call it, what I see possibly happening is that Damascus is going to be destroyed, and those are going to be the hooks that are going to draw in Russia, and the Gog-Magog evasion is going to happen. Then there's going to be the nuclear trade-off there. Damascus might be a nuclear bomb, but there's going to be a nuclear trade-off, and then Yah is going to come in and basically stop everything. Remnant of our southern kingdom of Judah, which is modern state Israel, will be partially spared. But I'm starting to understand things a little bit differently now that we're coming here on the end part, because I'm starting to lean that Assad is the Antichrist figure that's talked about, and that somehow, you know, Satan is going to revive this guy, and we'll see. Hopefully, we're not here when it happens, but that's it. So I'm leaving you guys with that. Look out for my other videos. Please leave your comments in the comments section. Brothers and sisters, scoffers need not to do that. Also, be aware in the comment section, especially my last one where I called Assad being the anti-Messiah. Okay, I've been getting a lot of strange comments from strange people who I haven't seen before showing up. Anyways, I'm signing off now from Jerusalem, and shalom.